The mandate of heaven was a principle used to justify the power of the Emperor of China, as well as explain suitability for office. According to this belief, heaven bestowed its mandate upon a just ruler, the Son of Heaven. The mandate of heaven depends on the virtue of the emperor. If he does not fulfill his obligations as emperor, then he loses the mandate and thus the right to be emperor. The mandate of heaven would have transferred to whoever would rule best. The fact that a ruler was overthrown was taken by itself as an indication that the ruler had lost the mandate of heaven. In addition, it was also common belief that natural disasters such as famine and flood were the signs of heaven's displeasure with the current ruler. So there would have been revolts following major environmental events as citizens saw these as signs of heaven's displeasure. The mandate of heaven does not require that a legitimate ruler be of noble birth. The dynasties were often founded by people of common birth, such as the Han Dynasty and the Ming Dynasty. The mandate of heaven had no time limitations, depending instead upon the just and able performance of a ruler and his heirs. Throughout the history of China, times of poverty and natural disaster were often taken as signs that heaven considered the incumbent ruler unjust and thus in need of replacement. The concept of the mandate of heaven was first used to support the rule of the kings of the Zhou dynasty from 1046 to 256 BC, and their overthrow of the earlier Shang dynasty. The mandate of heaven was a well-accepted and popular idea among the people of China, since it argued for the removal of incompetent or despotic rulers, and provided an incentive for rulers to rule well and justly. The concept was often invoked by philosophers and scholars in ancient China, as well as to curtail the abuses of power by the ruler in a system that otherwise offered few checks to his power. Chinese historians interpreted excessive revolt as evidence that the mandate of heaven had passed. In China, the right of the rebellion against an unjust ruler had been a part of the political philosophy ever since the Zhou dynasty, and the successful rebellion was interpreted by Chinese historians as evidence that the divine approval had passed on to the successive dynasty. The right of rebellion is not coded into any official law. Rather, rebellion is always outlawed and severely punished, but still is a positive right grounded in the Chinese moral system. Often it is used as justification for the actions to overthrow a previous dynasty after rebellion has been successful and a new dynastic rule has been established. Since the winner is the one who determines who has attained the mandate of heaven and who has lost it, some Chinese scholars consider it to be a sort of victor's justice, best characterized by the popular Chinese saying, "The winner becomes king and the loser becomes outlaw."